let us come to next topic, that is measurement of time. So we have already learned that we use atomic clocks to measure 1 second, that means standard time. That standard atom is cesium atom, and we use this atomic clock to measure the 1 second or standard time. So what is 1 second? 1 second is this 9,92,631,770 vibration of radiation corresponding to transition between two hyperfine levels of ground state of cesium 133 atom. So forget about this. What we have to remember, we are using cesium and vibration of cesium. So these many vibrations, so let us say around 9 billion vibrations of cesium atoms makes 1 second. So we use these number of vibrations to calculate what is the time. So when this cesium atoms, this is one vibration, two vibration, when cesium atoms vibrate this much times, around 9 billion times, so then we say this is 1 second. This is very similar as a small quartz crystal in your wristwatch measure the time. So quartz is also a crystal, so that also vibrates, with the help of that quartz crystal vibration we maintain 1 second in our normal wristwatches. Now let us see what is there, etc. So this is these watches, these cesium watches are very expensive and they are very limited in number. These are called atomic clocks. So these are very accurate. So no ordinary person have atomic clocks. They generally have this small quartz crystal wristwatches. Nowadays the time is synchronized with the internet, and internet time is running with this help of cesium atomic clocks. These are very accurate. So we use national standard time interval second with the help of this cesium atomic clocks that we maintain. So a cesium atomic clock is used at National Physical Laboratory in Delhi. So we have one cesium atomic clock that is maintaining our Indian standard time. So we are also maintaining Indian standard time. In our country, this NPL laboratory, this is very famous laboratory. They have the responsibility to maintain the standard of time, frequency, etc. The Indian standard time is linked to set of these atomic clocks, because so one atomic clock is at NPL. There are 4 atomic clocks that are maintained in our country, and with the help of those 4 clocks we say this is our Indian standard time. Now what is useful to us? We are using cesium, this many vibrations of cesium to measure time. What we use to measure 1 second in our wristwatch? Quartz crystal. Who are maintaining the Indian standard time? National Physical Laboratory in Delhi with the help of cesium atomic clock. Now let us see how accurate they are. The efficient cesium clocks are so accurate. So let us see how accurate they are. That they impart the uncertainty in time realization as. So let us see how accurate they are. So uncertainty is plus minus 1 into 10 to power minus 13. So what is meaning of this number? Meaning of this number is, suppose when 10 to power 13 seconds are counted. So this is a very large time. If you calculate, so we have seen this 3.15 into 10 to power 7. Second was 1 year. We have seen this. So if we divide this number with this, so what we get? Let us remove this number. Let us talk about orders only. So this is 10 to power 13. So 10 to power 13 divided by 10 to power 7. So what we get? 10 to power 6. 10 to power 6 is 1 million. So these atomic clocks are so accurate that they make 1 second difference in 1 million years. What we did? We checked their accuracy, that means plus minus 1 in 10 to power 13 second. 10 to power 13 second we have calculated, those are 1 million years, around 1 million years. So 1 second plus or minus, or 1 second inaccuracy in 1 million years. So these are so accurate. So these atomic clocks are so accurate. So 1 second in 1 million years. Okay. If we want to calculate what is the accuracy in 1 year, so 1 year, just divide this 1 second by 10 to power 6 second. So that means 10 to power minus 6 second, and that is called microsecond. So 1 microsecond difference or inaccuracy in whole year. So these are so accurate. So they lose or gain no more than 3 microsecond in 1 year. So from where this 3 comes, because we in this calculation we have removed this 3.15 in year. In a year calculation we have removed this 3.15. Because of this we are getting this 3 microsecond in 1 year. Even with 3 microsecond, these are very accurate. So these are very accurate watches or clocks we use to determine our Indian national time. Now once we have created clocks that are so accurate, so accurate that those are only 3 microsecond difference in 1 year, those have this less difference in 1 year. So what we did, we expressed length in terms of this time. How did we do that? We expressed length in terms that light travels certain interval of time, that means 1 by 299, 792, 458 of a second, that we called a meter. Since measuring meter was difficult, but we have made very accurate clocks, so we have also measured length in terms of time. So we started light, and since measurement of time is very accurate, so we said this length traveled by light in 1 by 299, 792, 458 part of 1 second. So if you calculate this, so this is around 3 million. This is 1 million, this is around 3 million. So 1 by 300 million second. 300 million second. So this time taken by light or distance traveled by light in 1 by 300 millions of second is called 1 meter. Why did we do so? Because we are very good at measuring time. That's why we are measuring meter in terms of time as well. And we know that speed of light can never be changed. That is a universal constant. That's why we measure meter in terms of seconds. The time intervals of events that we come across universe vary over a wide range. So again, the time range of time in the universe also very large, that is also very wide, that we will see in table 2.5 just after this. So one important thing is that we see there is some coincidence between the number of lengths, those table for length and that table for time, and we will see that the ratio between the smallest distance and largest distance is 10 to power 41. Similarly, we will see the ratio between shortest time and largest time interval is also 10 to the power 41. So that we will see again. Which lists typical masses of the objects. So this number 10 to power 41 is again comes in table 2.4. And table 2.4 deals with mass. So what we see here, the ratio of largest and smallest masses of objects in the universe is 10 to power 41 square. 10 to power 41 square. This is a curious coincidence between these large numbers, purely accidental or not. So we have to learn that is this 10 to power 41 is accidental or something else? Let us see that what is the meaning of this 10 to power 41. So if we see this, the size of proton, again see that here we are starting with a proton and we are ending at distance of observable universe, that means universe. So this is 10 to power minus 15 meter. Okay. And what is largest distance? 10 to power 26 meter. So 10 to power 26, if we divide this biggest distance with this smallest distance, so this power goes up and we get 10 to power 41. Okay. So we have got 10 to power 41. So this is ratio between smallest and largest. Now let us see in terms of mass. Remember, we have started with proton. So if you see, again we start with proton, that is 10 to power minus 27, and this universe is 10 to power 55. Let us divide once again. 10 to power 55 divided by 10 to power minus 27. So this 27 goes up and adds into this. So what we get? 10 to power 82. That is equal to 10 to power 41 square. Again we see this number 10 to power 41. Now let us see the time scales. If we see this smallest time scale, this is 10 to power minus 24, and this largest time scale, that means age of universe, this is 10 to power 17. Again 10 to power 17 divided by 10 to power minus 14. So what we get? 24. What we get? 10 to power 41. So this number is coming again and again. Is this a coincidence or this is a fundamental constant?